You're watching The Kate Fox Show. I'm Kate Fox, and today I am speaking with my dear friend who is a wellness coach, an activist, an author, a songwriter, Donna Martini.
Kate, I'm always so happy when we're together.
I am
Irrespective of what we're doing, I'm always so happy because you're such a happy person and a good person, and your energy is beautiful. So thank you for having me.
You all day today, you gave me goosebumps.
Really?
Just so you know. All
Awesome.
day.
That's the soul.
It's
the soul racing through you. That's the soul saying, "I'm here. Hello."
I'm telling at least 4 times today you gave me goosebumps.
Wow, that's
just
awesome.
but I'm so glad to sit down and talk to you because we did, and I still have it in the archives, and we might start showing it here and there, but when everybody went home and was working from home and we were all avoiding each other, you and I did a live show, and my Wi-Fi was horrific. And I think that's really what the problem was. And we did a wonderful, wonderful show. We were talking about what's going on, and we were also talking about our little friend MantraMouse. Mm-hmm. And I kind of would like to sort of talk about some of the things we discussed there, but I want to talk about MantraMouse's message because that little bugger is gaining traction.
Yeah.
And I know that.
How can you not? How can MantraMouse not?
How can you not?
Who doesn't love a little fat mouse?
And he's sweet and he has good ideas. She.
He's she.
Oh, he's she. Okay.
We're talking no
That's
gender
true.
here.
I'm sorry.
No gender specific. It's okay.
I call MantraMouse he. It's like when you see a dog and you don't know what it is, you say, "Oh, how's he doing?" So, but I will tell you, and I will tell you. I have some people that I thought would benefit from MantraMouse's message. So you had sent some out to friends, and let me tell you, every person.
Oh, the book, my mini book of mighty mantras.
Oh, yes.
MantraMouse
that's right.
is the mascot to my mini book of mighty mantras.
Thank you, because I'm just jumping right in there. So yes, it's a wonderful book, very inspirational, and every person that I had you send it to just was thrilled to pieces.
Well, thank you so much for supporting me that way. I think you had like 10 copies by the time it was all said and done, at least.
I might have more at some point too.
Well, you bought them, and I sent them out for you to individual people all over the country, really, and Long Island. I was anxious to hear how, what they felt about it and how it was received. Did some of them get surprised with it or whatever?
Yes.
And if they're using the book, because the whole point is to use it.
I will tell you, the young woman behind the camera today is someone who received.
Well, we should introduce her.
Amy Tangle, author, colleague,
Just say hello,
camera
Amy.
woman.
Hi, everyone.
And we were talking about it actually as we were driving here.
Oh, awesome.
So, and she is utilizing my mini book of mighty mantras. See, I said the title properly. Oftentimes I call it my mighty book of mini mantras because to me it's such a mighty book that I just constantly turn around the words. But I have had people just reach out to me and say, I love this book.
Awesome.
Someone just the other day, I just finished it. Oh my God, I love it. So that's what, so I just took a little bit of your message and sprinkled it around. But what you've been doing and sharing, and now I'm taking up all the talking and I'm sorry, but you have been sharing this with so many people, and the response that we see just on social media is enormous.
It is, and I am so grateful because people feel the message is genuine, and I will say it is genuine.
It is.
I use mantras to help myself heal from many issues, including Crohn's disease.
Yes.
And so I wrote the book because I didn't want other people to have to struggle to understand what they could do for themselves, self-healing techniques, no matter what their diagnosis, no matter what their lot in life, no matter what their issues. You can find a way through. You don't have to hire professionals if you don't have the money. There is ways that you can make things happen in your life to improve yourself without having to worry about professionals if you can't afford them. That was my biggest thing.
And I'm cutting you off for a second because what I need to say is you walk the walk.
Yes.
Everything that you're telling us, you have put into practice.
No, I wrote it after I had to do it. And I wrote what works and what doesn't work. And I don't want everyone else to have to go through what I went through and the fear and everything else. I want them to just hit the ground running with it. And I want them to believe. And I want them to see me who was diagnosed with Crohn's, which is there's no cure.
Right.
You know, with cancer, they can say you're in remission
Absolutely.
or cured.
I
With
am.
Crohn's, there is no supposed cure, but I walk the earth, okay, on no drugs for a horrific disease, and it was so bad I had almost my entire large intestines taken out. I only have 6 inches left. So I have a physical compromise there, which I have to, pay attention to, but I don't allow it to stop me. And in fact, I use mantras and meditation to have my small intestines act like my large intestines so that I don't have any disability or any, issues. So yeah, our bodies respond. They will listen to whatever our mind tells them, and our minds will follow our souls if we let them. So the idea is that we check in every day to what's really important, and then listen and follow that path that we're being shown without having to muscle it, left-brained, human ego stuff.
Right.
Just allow to let go and say, you know what, there's a part of me that knows more, that's attached to all there is, and that's the part that I want to follow. Not the jibber jabber, I call it the yappy dog. Not the left brain that keeps spinning. Not where I'm tapping into information, because guess what? You can only know so much. You need to be tapped into something that's more profound, that can prophesize, that can see the future, the past, and everything all at once, right? That has no time. It's not in a time zone. It's a soul zone. And that's what the book teaches. The book teaches the science and spirituality. There is absolutely proof now of everything that we've been taught through religion, believe it or not, for decades and centuries, about the power that exists. A system is in place. Ask and ye shall receive. Seek and ye shall find. Knock and the door will be open. Basically, in spiritual terms, and some people call New Age, it's called, what, the law of attraction?
Yes,
but
yes.
in the Bible, it's basically called God,
Right.
And prayer. I like to merge the two because obviously many moons ago when the Bible was written, they didn't have terminology about energy. They didn't understand it.
Right.
So now that we know, and scientists are showing us that there is a system in place, there's something out there, the field, that is energetic, and we create energy, and what you think and what you feel literally creates a feeling.
Yes, it does.
That will portend your future, that you will walk into the future that you're mentally and emotionally preparing for. So that's so important. If we're not thinking positive, what are we walking into every day?
Agreed. And,
Right?
And well, I tell you, I believe, of course, if negative people, I think, tend to be more ill. And of course, stress.
Absolutely.
When I was diagnosed, I will tell you, I believe fully that it was the result of stress, unmanaged stress.
Well, I'm going to do a quick test on you right now. Would you mind?
God, what test? It's not
No,
that.
it's applied kinesiology. Just real quick. Hold your arm out.
Is it going to be the curse? It's
Hold
not
your
the
arm
cursing
out.
test,
No,
is
it's
it?
not.
You did the cursing
Hold
test.
your arm. Hold it strong. Hold it strong.
Hold it
Don't
strong.
let me push it down. Okay? I want you to say, I am well.
I am well.
Hold. I want you to say, I am sick.
I am sick.
Okay. I didn't even try. I mean,
No,
I almost fell.
and I was resisting. And that's just like the cursing one, though.
Yes, I tested her with cursing.
She tested me.
Because the F word bothers me because I really believe it weakens people.
But you showed
I
me.
showed you how
did
it
that.
weakens you, and it's just in the certain context. If it's anger behind the context, obviously you're going to be weakened anyway.
Right.
So the idea is that we're thinking and we're feeling a certain way every day, and that is predicting basically what our next day is going to be like. So unless we shake that, unless we undo it, manipulate out of it, we're going to keep on keeping on whatever negative, emotional state or being that we don't want. Unless you want to stay mad and angry, unless you want to stay. Some people do. Some people want the woe is me.
Do,
They
and
want
it's
woe
just
is me.
exhausting.
They want that. They want the trouble.
I know one or
Or
two.
listen, it's not even like it's a human thing. It's not like I'm saying somebody's bad for doing that.
No.
They're in a habit they don't even realize they're in. It's so immersed in their personality, and to see it, I call it the dirty diaper syndrome. Like everybody else can smell it, except for the person who's wearing it, And I got that from my toddler, who wouldn't let me change his diaper one day. I'm like, you have to let me change that diaper. He goes, no, I don't want to. And I'm like, all right, fine. You're sitting in that diaper. Well, 2 hours later, I couldn't stand it anymore. And I changed him, and he had the most wicked diaper rash you've ever seen. But it stuck with me because I remember how he didn't care. he wanted to smell as bad as he wanted to smell. It was us who would bother.
Right, he was stewing in his own
He
juices.
just wanted to stay there, and he didn't care about being changed. And I remembered it as a personality trait, not in him. He's a gorgeous kid. I'm talking about in us, because we reek from our energy sometimes, and we're not improving ourselves because we don't even get what we reek of. We're not on the outside of us looking in or feeling it.
Right, absolutely.
We're in ourselves,
Well,
and
same-
we're used to ourselves, and we may not want to change. We may be afraid to change. We may not think we can, and that's what the mantras are about.
Yes, it is.
That's what the mantras are about. Mantras they incite that's a part of us. We're made of sound energy, by the way. Sound, light, and scalar energy. That's what we're made of. So if we're made of sound energy, we should be utilizing it. In fact, they'll say, you can read all about it from centuries ago, how all kinds of civilizations used sound. Drumming, we know about
Yes.
that. But also oral sounds, like saying A-E-I-O-U and humming them, or Om, right?
Yes.
Okay, so all of these sounds create an energy within us. They sort of write their own in our body and make us feel a certain way. It communes us with the earth, and it brings us back to like a ground zero or base level, and then we can work on from there. So a mantra is a mindset. Basically, it means tool of the mind. And when we say it and repeat it over and over, it helps to eradicate whatever negative mindset we have. Like, for instance, if you say, my favorite one, okay, that I use during my illness and lately too, I have faith in the power that be, I believe in me. And if you keep saying that over and over again, how can you think doubt about yourself? How can you think negative if you continually repeat a mantra? There's no way for it to fit in. It changes your mind, and with that immediately, as you saw with your arm, it immediately changes your energy. You can stay strong, you can stay weak. It's up to us what we want to do. Now, some people think they're stronger when they complain, they moan, they bitch, they, whine, they accuse, they ridicule. We know this. We know this on Facebook. Again, it's a human thing. But what I want to try to show people and teach them is we don't get anything accomplished. When we fault and blame, things stay the same. Nothing will ever get eradicated if we just continuously point fingers and whine.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
So how do we flip that on ourselves? Instead of saying, look what's wrong with the world, say, what can I do to improve the world? And allow the soul to tell you today what to do. And don't doubt what you're hearing. Don't doubt the steps you're being shown. Because it may seem silly or inconsequential to you, but there's a part of you that knows way beyond what's going on in this moment, right? Did you ever do something and you wonder why, and then you find out 3 months later, oh my gosh, so it's a good thing that I did that.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Absolutely, all the time, everything. Whether it's an action that you take, something that you say.
You feel motivated to do it. You feel like, I have to do this. And you have no idea why, but then you find out later, wow, this is a part of the puzzle.
Yes. Well, even
I never would have predicted.
human relationships, human interactions, it's all part of that. Well, oh my God, why did I make that mistake, or why did I? But then, as you look back, at least definitely with me, I've been able to go back and list. Oh, that was a disaster. But out of that disaster, I got this, this, and this, and I wouldn't be here if I hadn't done that.
Right.
So.
We were talking about that today, and people think that they have to learn lessons when they come here. I have to learn lessons. I'm here to learn lessons. Okay, I used to think that as well. But then I flipped it on myself, and I realized it's not about lessons. The hardships give us an opportunity to learn how powerful we are.
Yes.
So we're here to empower ourselves and reach other new levels and dimensions of that power, of that light, to see how far we can take it. In other words, we have a great example. I hate to bring it up if you're not a Jesus believer, but there was a person who lived here named Jesus, right? And Jesus showed us healing potential. He showed us power that like no other human seemed to have. And it made me wonder, what is he showing us about ourselves? How far can we take our healing process, or how far can we take the power that we have here? Because if we're pure of heart, and if we really stay in tune, can we actually help someone heal? There is proof that you can. There are people who are healing others. There are people who, right? They're changing the energy in someone else's body. So the idea is, can you walk on water? I don't know. Can you part the Red Sea? Right now, I'd like to put together the Red Sea we have between the left and the right. I would love to be able to bring that together. And when I realized that I was put here in this time, right now, okay, in our history, I must have the potential and the power to help the situation. I have the right intentions, I have the right heart, I have the right mindset, so I must have some gifts that I can use for this.
Of course.
And I'm only a tiny little piece of the puzzle, but it's okay, because there's many other people like yourself doing the same thing, and together we can part the Red Sea, we can move mountains.
Yes,
Right?
and you know, I will say to you, even though, because of course nowadays a lot of us are stuck in the social media grind, but it's become such a tool. Besides just connecting with people, it's become a tool to promote, to run your business. A lot of people, they don't even have a website. They have a Facebook page, or, you know, so, and what we've spoken about this before, and I mean, there's so much negative there, but I'm seeing, and you're seeing too, more and more, there are more groups showing up that are positive, only positive. I think you shared the thing you wrote today with like what, 5 groups, 10 groups?
Oh yeah, at least.
And
it's
it's
no,
just,
I think altogether there was like 50 shares or 40 shares, and there are groups that I post to regularly, and there's probably
Yes.
hundreds more.
and
But
there's
I just have to spend the time to find them,
Yes.
and then I can share with more people who are like-minded. And I think rather than worrying about who doesn't like it or who doesn't respond, to concentrate on those who do, because there's a vast majority
Yes.
who want peace, who want love, who want forgiveness, who cannot stand living in this negativity. And like we said, there are people who are sitting in a dirty diaper and they don't even get how negative they are. We
Correct.
should love them more. We need to pray for them. We need to help them
I
in whatever way
try.
we can. Just be a living example. You don't have to go out of your way, meaning that you don't have to infringe on their life.
Right.
We don't want to do that. We're not rubbernecking on other people's journey. Okay, we don't want to do that. Instead, we see someone, if we're put together with someone, even for a moment, even on a post, on a feed, and we see that they're in a negative state of being, and they're really in pain or suffering or angry or whatever it is, we can say our Ho'oponopono prayer. I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, and thank you. We can say, I believe in you. We could say whatever. We could just say a little prayer of peace,
Yeah.
okay, for them, and then move on. Because when we have 1,000 people in our little circle that are full of love and positive, then the few that are so negative, they will come on board. There's only very few people in the world who want to stay negative. Most of them who are negative don't know how to get out by
Correct.
themselves.
Correct.
They're just stuck there. We might be the only way they can see their soul in a day. Okay, we might be the only way that they can bring a smile in a day. So the idea is that instead of us being weakened by them, we need to be strong, lift, so that they can maybe catch on to
Yes.
what we're offering.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes, and you know what? We're going to take a quick break on the uplift, and we'll be right back. And we are back, and I wanted to let you know we are actually sitting in Donna's garden, this tranquil, lovely spot that she has made.
Yeah,
because
that's
you-
a truck's path.
Well, right. We are outside, of course, but so she made this wonderful, lovely area, and it's so peaceful. I actually don't know if I'm leaving. I might be sleeping there tonight.
It's funny because I coach people here, and I've had people who I try to get them to leave, but sometimes it's 2 hours, and every time they go out of the room, they go into the foyer, then they talk for 10 minutes, and they go from the foyer to the front porch, another 10 minutes, then they go into the driveway. They still don't want to go.
But
It's feng shui, it's the energy. And listen, it's not about me. I worked very hard on creating the energy here, but this is nature. This is, way bigger than Donna Martini.
well, but you have created a very welcoming place, a very comfortable, peaceful place.
Yeah, normally, if you don't hear diesel
Well,
trucks.
but inside as well is peaceful.
Yes.
I know you can hear me anyway. I'm just being loud to pretend that I'm trying to talk over the truck. But but now we're talking about MantraMouse.
Yes.
And what you're trying to do in uplifting, raising, and unity.
Mm-hmm.
Unity is a big thing for you.
Well, it
Well,
has been
for all
for
of
years.
us, but you've been very
Yes.
focused because it's been something that you've been following
Well,
and feeling.
I had prophecy several years ago that we were going to be worse off than we were, that we were going to be rioting the streets. I had prophecy that if we didn't unite, things would get so bad, and here we are.
Here we are.
And so I was trying to, alleviate that. A few years ago, I wrote a song about unity called One Nation's Heart.
One Nation's Heart. It's
And
wonderful.
I wrote the lyrics, I wrote the melody, I brought it to a friend who's a songwriter named Lisa Mataza. She loved the lyrics. She said, you know what, Donna? I'm going down to Nashville. She has a house down there. She said, and I'm having a songwriting kind of meeting with a friend. His name is Tim. He is a Grammy-nominated songwriter, and we're actually saying, you want to come down and we'll work with you. So we went down there. I stayed in Nashville, and One Nation's Heart was born. It took an hour to write it based on all the parts that I already had, the lyrics and everything else. I had a lot of lyrics and everything, and the melody. And Tim and Lisa and I, we knocked it out. And then it took me a little while to get it produced electronically. I didn't have the money to do more than that. And then I created a video to go with it, and it took a lot of time and a lot of effort and money. And I had to raise the money and I had to get it together. And finally, after a year, I'm like, okay, you put this song in the wrong hands. I'm talking to the ethereal power that was giving me the lyrics, and I said, it's taking too long. And I heard in my head, it's going to happen in due time. Like, it's not in my time. It's going to happen when it needs to. And all of a sudden, I relaxed and started getting the job done, because I had never produced a music video before. I never done editing, I never did any of this. Sure enough, I get it done on a Saturday in August, and this is 2 years ago, and I was like thrilled. I'm like, oh my gosh, I could not believe it's finally finished. The next day was the riots in Charlotte. Was it Charlotte or Charlottesville? The next day. Now, I wrote the song based on that, based on seeing bloody rioting in the street, and here it is coming out the exact same weekend that this transpired. So I knew at that point it was prophecy, and I knew that I was onto something. And believe it or not, in the music video, it starts with a Civil War soldier.
Yes.
And those riots were about a Civil War statue.
That's right.
Yes. So I knew that I was being shown, and I knew there was something else going on here than just Donna, and my idea of needing unity. I feel it. I feel like this is my job here. I have to do this. So 2 years ago, when it came out, it did get quite a few, 45,000 views.
Oh, yeah.
But it was calling the nation to take a stand, to reunite this nation's land. And at the time when everybody was healing, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't want to be against anyone. That's not my point here. So I pulled it back, and I said, okay, this is not wasted. There will be a time. It's going to be shown to me. Well, now I'm ready again, because I don't think things can I don't want things to get worse.
Right.
I don't want it to get to a point where you're at a point of no return. And so, of course, I came to you and I said, would you help me edit it and maybe sharpen it up and get it back out there? And you said, of course. And so now we're going to do that.
Yes.
MantraMouse, came through this whole process in the middle. When I wrote the book, my mini book of Mighty Mantras, I needed a mascot because the contents of the book were so heavy. We're talking about some heavy subject matter. And I needed something to lighten it up. And I loved the idea of a mouse. And my favorite character growing up was Mighty Mouse. Here I come to save the day. Was that Mighty Mouse, right? And and so I don't know. A mouse came in. A mouse came in. I was working with my graphic artist at the time, was a dear friend, and she consequently died of breast cancer.
Oh,
I'm so sorry.
I didn't know.
But she and I created MantraMouse together, and she said. We were talking about the mouse, and she's the one who put the two words together, MantraMouse. And I was always designing, and she would create the character based on what I was, telling her. And so we definitely came to this conclusion that we needed this mascot because of the subject matter. And MantraMouse was going to be a peace activist, a cartoon peace activist that was going to bring love and goodness. And I didn't have to bring that message, because I'm no Mother Teresa, okay? And I didn't have to be, because just like, Peanuts, who brings a message of love and goodness, it's a character.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So you don't need to have Charles Schultz if you have the Peanuts.
Right.
And so I felt like, okay, I can stay in the background and just be, the person who's bringing MantraMouse to life and bringing the message of goodness and love. And kids and people in all ages can try to relate to this character.
And speaking of kids, now not only do you have my mini book of mighty mantras, my mini book of mighty mantras,
Coloring book and read it.
you have created a coloring book for children
Yes. With mantras.
with
Yes.
mantras.
Yes.
But I mean, which is wonderful.
Well, I loved doing the coloring book. What a fun project. I live for this. I see myself next to some seashore or some kind of body of water in an Adirondack chair, and I'm just got my sketchbook and I got my laptop on the side, and that's all I'm doing all day long is creating and writing. And I can knock out poems or songs. I have many songs written. Information comes into my head, and I just put it out on paper, and I keep on going. And I get together with people who are more talented than me, and so
They
I'm
have
writing
different
whatever.
talents.
They have graphic artists who can take my cartoon drawing and make it into a rendering that can be on the computer. And so I don't have to be good at all those things. I can just have visions and bring it to some kind of piece of paper, and then I can get the help to do it. And so if I'm being used as a conduit for love and unity, I'm happy to do that. I'm excited to do that. I feel like I was born to do it. In fact, in 1960, I was born 2 months after Hurricane Donna. And I know that hurricane brought me in. Now I'm turning 60, 1960. I'm turning 60 this year, 2020, which my birthday's on the 20th, in 2020, on the tail end of a pandemic. And there's something that always was in my head about a hurricane. Who would want to be named after a hurricane? But the point is, by the way, I've heard in my head that the hurricane was named after me. So that could be something to prepare for. But
You're a force of nature, though.
yeah, right. So we're all a force of nature.
We are.
The point of
We
using
are.
it. But what I hear in my head is, what is a hurricane? A hurricane, it doesn't care that you built a house on the water. It doesn't. Nature doesn't care about what you do to plan your life. Okay, it just does its thing. And a hurricane sort of cleanses. It sort of wipes away and starts fresh and anew. And now I picture a hurricane of emotion, of love and goodness and everything else, overcoming and overwhelming the negativity that we're feeling right now, the anger, right? The severe deprivation of literal contact with one another or decency towards one another. I mean,
Yes.
we see horrific behavior, and it's like nothing now. It's like nothing just to tell people off. We feel
Right.
like it's our right, freedom of speech.
Oh, yeah.
So where is the civility? Where is all the love and goodness? That's what we need to do. We need to blanket. We need to blanket our country and the earth again with that, because this is what we came here to do. This is what we feel in our hearts. This is what we were born to, right? We came here wanting that, acting out towards that, and then all of a sudden life happened and we become jaded or whatever.
I don't
so
know.
we're going back. We don't journey, we don't like sort of find authenticity. We journey back to it. We
yes,
came here already. That
yes,
way.
yes.
Right?
And it's funny because that's been a task I've recently given myself to. I believe that I'm trying to live authentically, but now I am holding myself more accountable to say, okay, is this necessary to be authentic, or is it something that you can just sort of keep in your own little pocket, or what are you doing to be authentic?
Well, sometimes being in a bad mood is authentic in that moment, but if we were to dig down deep and ask what the soul wants and how we can be our best self in that moment, we would see a whole different picture. We're doing our best. Most of us are doing our best every
Yes,
day. Even if we're cheating, even if we're lying, stealing, we might still be doing better than if we were killing or we were doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're all trying to basically survive in a day, and we could switch that over to purposefully living and stepping into our life
Yes.
with a lot more intention to do good, be good, and everything else. And if we do that, we become very empowered by way more energy that we can even name or understand. Okay, so goodness is attached to a lot more In fact, you know, as a spiritual person, I'm not necessarily religious. I was raised Catholic, but I believe, because I was always told, when, you know, you need to be an extension of God, extension of God, extension of God. Okay, I'm going to be an extension of God. What does that mean? I'm a dyslexic kid. I'm thinking about the word God extended. Okay, I'm just like stretching out the word God and realizing that, oh, if I'm an extension of God, I put the O in good. So if I do good, that means I'm like godlike as a human.
Right.
Okay? So if you're not about the religion, or if you're not about God, if you name it universe or whatever else, just concentrate on goodness. Okay, just concentrate on goodness.
That dog is named My Love.
Well, we have to show everybody.
Just, come here, my love.
Come here, let's show everybody
If
your
you
heart.
see us petting her.
See, there's her heart. She was named from that.
And she's a therapy dog.
Yes, she is a therapy dog, yes.
And she is a
And
love.
she's a therapy dog who needs therapy. She's actually had PTSD from her puppyhood.
Oh, that's, you told me
she
that.
did. Yes, she was abused.
And yet she's the sweetest little thing.
She's
I
very
mean,
sweet. But she's a little scaredy cat, but that's okay. So she passed the test for therapy for one-on-one, but not in buildings. So it's okay. Because she works with veterans and seniors and whoever else
yes, she
needs
do.
it. She works with
You're a
all
good
my
girl.
clients who come.
And
who like-
she is, you know, well, it's appropriate because that's what you do. And when I met her for the first time, I mean, how perfect. I mean, you're a match made in heaven.
Well, yeah, and it's funny because I fostered a couple of dogs and I just couldn't find the right match. And one day a friend said, you have to go to this shelter, you have to see this dog. It was everything I wanted. It was a male, it was 2 years old, a little gentleman, it was a border collie mix, Bernese Mountain Dog mix, black. I wanted black, male, at least 2 years old. Right. And then I looked all over the shelter for this dog. This dog was nowhere to be found. Lost. Nobody knew what happened to the dog. Was there 1 minute and gone the next. And I'm like, okay, this is crazy. So I went into the office to leave my name in case they find the dog. All right. And as I walk in, I see her laying in a crate right in front of the secretary's desk. And I see that big heart. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's my dog. I didn't care what color she was. I didn't care how old she was. I didn't want a puppy. I didn't want a pit bull. I didn't want this. I didn't want that. She was everything I didn't think I wanted and everything I needed. And that goes, I'm sure. Because I'm thinking about that. I'm like, that probably is going to go for the man in my life.
But it's true.
Everything
but it's
that
true
you
in
didn't think you
everything.
wanted. Yes.
You know, that's
Yes. There's more in us.
Yes. And we
that
think,
knows better.
we think and we get stuck
Yes.
here
Yes.
because somehow it's made its way in.
Point to the left. Because the right's where we're getting the beautiful information, the beautiful direction. It's the right. And then the left is that spinning human head that thinks it knows everything, thinks it knows better, and it does just. It takes us on a human journey. We don't want the human journey. We want the uplifting spiritual human journey. We want the, fortified journey, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's right-brained, and that's intentionally asking in the morning, what do I do today? Have my best day, my best life, my best self, my best body, my best everything.
My best everything.
My best everything. We have to say that.
I like that. And I think, you know what? I want to leave off on my best everything.
Mm-hmm.
So check out MantraMouse. Check out Donna Martini. Check out my mini book of mighty mantras. And there is so much more coming.
Oh gosh, yeah. There's every day.
And
There's
we'll
songs,
bring it
there's
to
poetry, there's movies, there's everything you can imagine. There's me in an RV with MantraMouse on the side and going to schools and trying to connect with people all over the country. I am planning it. I am doing it. I've also created a concert called God Rock, which is all about spiritual music and young people being able to sing their songs and because unless you get on K level whatever, your music can't be heard. I want everyone's music to be heard. If it's spiritual and loving and it talks about empowerment, I want it out there. So I'm going to create concerts to go all over the country and be at churches and synagogues or wherever.
Oh, wow.
Talking about our goodness. It's God to goodness. And being able to connect with as many citizens as we can to bring that message and to bring that energy. Because it's more than a message, it's energy.
Yes, it is.
And once you connect with it, can you get enough of it?
No.
Can you feel it?
Can you feel it?
I feel it.
Thank you for the laughter. But really, obviously you'll be back. We're going to talk about
Yes.
more things. And I just...
And you're gonna get the video after me.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's coming. That is coming. And
One
and
Nation's Heart.
One Nation's Heart. And actually we'll come back when we do that as well. But I'll be back. You know that. But really check her stuff out.
MantraMouse.com.
MantraMouse.com.
And the One Nation's Heart music video is on there with the full movie attached to it. It's
Okay.
a 6 minute from start to finish, and it talks about the spirit of America and guarding over the broken winged eagle, and it basically depicts what we've gone through. This video depicts what we've gone through as a nation, what we've come through, how far we've come, and the fact that we need to hold on to that, we can keep going. You know, what we're seeing now is not a depiction of who we really are.
No, it's
really not.
it's fabricated in some way.
Part of it is, if it's we're seeing it, it's real, but it's not a reality we have to keep and hold on to, and it's not the reality for the majority.
Correct. And I feel it was constructed. I guess that's what I'm saying when I say it was
And
fabricated.
if it was or if it wasn't, it doesn't
constructed.
matter, because you and I don't want it,
No, we don't.
and you don't want it,
No, we don't.
and everybody else doesn't want it.
Because we want to be happy.
We
We
want
want to
love.
live good
We
lives.
want peace.
Lives. Good lives.
We want to share the best of ourselves. We want equality. We don't have a racial divide that we can see, because we don't live that. It doesn't come through our eyes.
No.
And we get to choose the way we step into this future. We need more and more people to feel that way, so it overwhelms and overcomes anything that's out there that's less than that. Okay? That's it.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, Donna Martini.
Thank you. Thank you so much.